What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
The Sweet and Smoky Salmon Rub infuses smoked black pepper with dehydrated maple syrup, pink Himalayan salt, ginger, thyme, mustard, and more to make a sweet, savory rub, perfect for salmon, trout, and other delicate seafood.
Some carriers will give you just one measly entertainment subscription. One is no fun. With Verizon, there's up to 7 entertainment subscriptions with your unlimited plan. That's 7 times the... 7 times the... No. 7 times the... Music, gaming, Disney+, Hulu, ESPN+, and more. That's 7 times the entertainment! Because everyone deserves better. And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than you think.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like the day is breezy. This motivation for the people, and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me. Trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like the day is breezy. This motivation for the people, and this classic Bible teaching. Motivation.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app. as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Stillman College is an HBCU in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where we prepare students for a different world. Stillman is a college of distinction for last year and this year. Our largest majors are business and biology, followed closely by psychology, criminal justice, and history for pre-law, communications, English, and religion. Our newest degree programs are in the Department of Computational Sciences, which covers cybersecurity, data analytics, and math. The Biomedical Academy prepares students for competitive entry into health professions and graduate programs. We have established summer biomedical research internships with major research institutions, such as the University of Alabama, Drexel and Temple Universities in Philadelphia, the Salk Institute in San Diego, California, and the universities of Florida, Indiana, and Iowa. We became creative with social distancing and masks for the pandemic. Our students enjoy movie nights at the stadium and the new Melissa and Davis Legacy Courtyard, where you can eat and enjoy friends. We have the Divine Nine Greek letter organizations, student government leadership, and ambassadors. Our small class sizes, nurturing faculty, and friendly environment let you know that Black Lives Matter at Stillman College each and every day.
Welcome to another live edition of the O&G Strike Zone. Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, soon to be joined by Kofi Hemingway. And yes, we number one fan is over there. We are still fans. We are still alive. It's gonna be FAMU all day, air day. Don't let it get twisted. We took our whoopings and we took a licking, but there's a big season still ahead of us for the mighty Rattlers, and a lot to be learned from. So we'll get into talking about that, but we also have to start looking ahead because in this game we can't afford to dwell on things of the past. So Kelvin, how you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm recovered, rested, and ready for this first home game now.
Exactly. There's a lot of excitement. Key point there. First home game of the year.
Okay.
And with that, there should be a lot of excitement. A lot of excitement with the first home game. So want to remind everybody.
All right. It's if you go on Facebook, it's O. Of course, the letter O.
Make sure.
And
I'm not really sure what we're hearing in the background, though. We got the background noise. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we got Kofi in the house.
Let me look at it on the thing.
I got all kinds of stuff going on, Kelvin. I don't know where we're at here. But anyway, I'm going to try to power through.
Yes, it's the symbol. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to power through with everything. I don't know if that's. I hope that's not going out over the air. I don't know if that's going out over the air.
It is. I can hear it.
And we'll be coming up there.
Let's try to. There we go. Right, I think we got it. I think we got it resolved. It's all good. Okay. So as I was saying,
Welcome to another edition, live edition, ONG Live. We got to love live, folks. That's live. Hey, want to remind you, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you are following us at ONG Strike Zone. Also on Instagram is where you can find us. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. All the folks who are already in the chat room, appreciate you guys for jumping in early. Make sure to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, please. Get it in early so you don't have to do it again. And if you're watching us on Twitter, go be a part of the discussion. Find us on Facebook at ONG Strike Zone, or on YouTube on the Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube page, MyJBN1. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Okay, so Kofi, how you doing, man? Glad you could get in. How you doing, my friend?
Freezing up already.
No, he's there. We just got to make
sure.
No,
he just froze.
Did he really? Hey, okay. Well,
hey, them JSU Tigers still getting us.
Still getting us. Still finding ways. All right, so we got a busy show today coming up. We got two guests coming up here in the first hour. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to talk to Vaughn Wilson of HBCU Game Day. Of course, Vaughn, a Rattler at heart, a Rattler by blood, born into the life. Played football for FAMU, ended up working as a sports information director for FAMU Athletics, and is doing some great work at HBCU Game Day, even doing some great. Look, you used to think Vaughn was just a DJ. He done graduated from DJ to writer, columnist, digital production specialist. I mean, the man is multifaceted. So it's a pleasure to be able to talk with Vaughn, doing some good stuff, and we'll talk about his recent articles and interviews he had over the past 10 days. Of course, Vaughn, boots on the ground right there in Tallahassee, able to cover many of the events surrounding the football program. And then in the later half of the first hour, Dr. Darlene Moore is going to join us. And that the name sounds familiar is because she is a GOAT in the coaching ranks, cross-country, track and field, won multiple titles at FAMU, 10-time, 7 or 10, what did I write in the notes here? 10-time, we'll make sure I get that right, 10-time MEAC Coach of the Year. So unfortunately she's working for Albany State, but I mean she's Albany State blood. So if she was ever going to leave FAMU, it was for Albany State. So that's where she is. So we'll get a chance to talk with her. She works as the assistant athletics director for academics and compliance, as well as the senior women's administrator over at Albany State. So first topic right off the bat, we don't have much time before we get into talking with Vaughn. Best and worst of the FAMU JSU game. Kofi, you weren't there for the reaction. We read a lot, but if you can, in as short a summary as possible, if there was a best, what was it? Limit your worst to no more than 2 or 3 if you can. Best and worst from the weekend.
The best, you had almost 40,000 people in attendance. Yep. The best, the game actually ended, so Jackson State didn't continue to score. And that's about it.
That's about it. No need to go into the worst, I guess. Everything was just the worst outside of that, huh? Kelvin, best and worst?
Best is I got to enjoy Miami a little bit. In terms of FAMU football, we had some guys return. It was good for those kids, those young men, to be able to participate and be a part of, do what they love and what they've worked so hard for. So that would be the best.
I agree. I'll go with you. I'll go with your sentiments on the best. The attendance, just short of 40. I think it was 39 and some change. Missed the mark of the 50 I thought we'd get, but it did look good to see FAMU filling the upper deck on their side of the field. Worst had to be the way it started. And what I mean is the worst was the lack of energy from the start. And I think back on it, and I didn't really bring it up at the time that it happened, but because it just was one of those things that I watched, and you didn't really know what you were watching. But when you reflect back on it, I watched the way our team ran off the field off of their warm-ups prior to the flag and all that stuff. I watched, and there wasn't much enthusiasm. There wasn't much fanfare. There wasn't much fanfare, and the excitement on that side wasn't there. When our team came out onto the field, we didn't come out as one group. There were scatters. There were groups of people that came out. And I know it's a long walk from the locker room to that tunnel, but it didn't seem all there. And then, of course, the pregame, the presidents, that was miserable to watch. And I think it was so eloquently put. I don't know. I think Kofi, you brought this up in your post. It was so well coordinated by Jackson State's president with the band that with their band that it seemed miserable and hurtful to watch. As Dr. Robinson labored through his introduction. So that was worst for me. Why was the performance so bad? And this will kind of get into talking. There's a great article that Vaughn put out, but as you had a chance to reflect back on a couple days, why was the performance so bad, Kofi?
Well, I mean, there's a number of different factors. I think number one, I'm going to say obviously Jackson State was better prepared to play us than we were to play them. Anytime a quarterback goes 17 for 17 to open the game, they see a flaw in your system that is to be exploited. In addition, I think that our coaching staff is somewhat stubborn. There's a refusal, it appears, at this time or an inability. It's either a refusal or it's an inability. Either way, it's not good. A refusal or an inability to adjust. Just because you ran the defense and you had success last year doing that particular defense doesn't mean that this year you're going to be able to do the same thing. And if you do the same thing, any smart coach would look at it and do whatever is necessary. Let me give you a case in point. We had a homecoming against North Carolina A&T. I think it was 96 or 97. 96. We scored 58 points on North Carolina A&T. And this was a Billy, what's that man's name? He's in
Billy Joe Special.
Yeah. It was a Billy Hayes team. He was so pissed. He felt like Billy Joe was running up the score on him. All right. Now, our offense, the Gulf Coast offense, was quite successful. No, it was 98. That's what it was. It was 98. 98, he felt like the Gulf Coast was so successful. I mean, we busted 58 on them. In our place, it was homecoming. It was a rout. The next year, Bill Hayes and them shut our offense down. When I say they shut it down, they shut it down. What happened? Bill Hayes got in there. He watched the videotape, and he was like, I refuse to allow FAMU to score 58 points. He even held the plays that they were going to do. He didn't even show those on videotape because he had a special game plan for FAMU. All right. Same thing. The year before, when this was Will Jeffries at South Carolina State, we scored 76 points on South Carolina State in Jacksonville. 76. The next year, this was Bill Hayes' last year, that score was cut by almost 40 points. I think we scored like 20 some odd points. And the next year, Buddy Pugh took over, And Buddy Pugh did not show anything in the first 2 games that showed that, they weren't doing the same thing that they had always done. But boy, when we got to game 3 and we had a good QB and everything, they shut down our ability to throw the ball, and they threw the ball deep. They had not done that the entire time. They had saved it specifically for FAMU. So I think that, when you don't do that, there's a sign that you are stubborn and prideful because you believe that your scheme is your scheme and it doesn't need any adjustments. Well, Bill Belichick changes his game plan based off of the team that he plays every single game, and they know how to take something that the team does away. So we didn't show that, bro. And I think that Jackson State gets the credit for that. I think that we ran the same plays. We didn't do any 2-back sets. There were no 3-back sets, even though we have the ability to do that. I didn't see it one time. Our plays were predictable. They knew what we were going to do on both the offensive side, the defensive side. And by the end of the game, Jackson State was just flat out giving more effort, and we were not. So when you do that and you turn the ball over, there's a good chance you're going to get blown out, and that's what happened.
Kelvin, before I bring it to you and ask that question, let's go ahead and bring in our first guest of the evening, Mr. Vaughn Wilson of HBCU Game Day. And we can start with that question right off the bat for Vaughn as we bring him in. And there he is, the Rattler himself, Vaughn Wilson. Known to some of us young folks as DJ Ace, some of y'all old folks as well. Make sure we got your audio here.
His sound, got to turn the sound up.
Yeah, make sure you're not on mute there, Vaughn. Make sure we're not on mute.
Did the sniper get him? It looked like the sniper was about to get him.
No, he's there. We just got to make sure his audio's there.
Can't hear you.
You got his mic on?
No, he's here. Hey, let's see. We'll get it here in a second. Mel, anything there with his audio? How's his audio sounding on your end? Give us a mic check if you would there, Vaughn. We're still not hearing you. I know you can probably hear us. All right. So we'll come out to Vaughn here in just a second. We'll figure out his. Kelvin, while we're waiting on Vaughn, I'll ask you the question. Why was the performance so bad?
Ultimately, we got outplayed. Our coach outplayed. That's the general comment. I do think from an analyst standpoint, there's some things you can point to. Kofi mentioned 4 turnovers, a block. What was it? A block punt.
Yep.
And pick 6, scoop and score. So, about 28 points wasn't even directly because of the defense. So that's part of the blowout. Them having those analysts, those professional analysts, having a Mike Zimmer and the Brewster guy and so forth. Those are
they got
lifetime top-notch coaches, man. I mean, they supposed to have an impact, and they did. They knew what we were gonna do. I didn't see a disparity talent-wise. I thought Shador has grown. I have to give him his flowers. His pre-snap reads and his command of that offense, and being able, even when we did get pressure, being able to get out of some of those situations was good. But I just thought we were very simple in our approach, and we were counterproductive to what we needed to be. We needed to run the ball. We need to be committed to running the ball. You look at the last 3 games: Southeast Louisiana, UNC, and Jackson State. I mean, we had 29 yards Saturday after the first quarter, and only like 59 at halftime total yards.
Right.
That's not going to cut against anybody, but definitely not a team caliber of Jackson State. I'm sure, and I heard Coach say it, with all the drama and shuffling and so forth, the team went down on a Wednesday. The guys who got clear went down on Friday. So there was no continuity that week, and team sports specifically, you tend to be creatures of habit. You like to do the same things and have a rhythm and so forth. We didn't have any of that. But at the end of the day, Jackson State outplayed us, man, soundly. And as the league grew and they separated, they got more cocky and swag, and we got more Larry Robinson.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
Let me
let's
jump
see.
in here.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let's see if we've got Vaughn. I know he's scheduled. I know we think we got him. If we got him, producer Mel. Let's see if we can get him. Well, when he comes in, we'll just put him in. We'll just plug him in. Go ahead, Kofi. What's your point?
Okay, so until Coach Simmons actually wins a championship, he's kind of like in that purgatory of what we call good coaches or good coaches looking to become great. And this is a strong statement. It is what it is. But I'd like to remind you that Dabo Swinney at one time, they were number 3 in the country, and they played Florida State, who was 5, and they were playing them in Death Valley. And Florida State came up in there and they beat them. This was 2013 and 2014, one of them around there. Jameis Winston, and they beat them 51-14 in Death Valley. That had never happened to that extent before. There were a lot of Clemson fans at that time that felt like Dabo was not the guy, that he was not going to be the guy that was going to be able to transition that team to a championship level. But they committed to Dabo, and the Clemson fans upped their giving to the program, and they came and formulated a plan. And the next thing you know, Clemson made 4 title game appearances, and they won 2 of those. So the process is still the process. I remember when Reggie Collier and Southern Mississippi came into Doak Campbell Stadium, and they totally annihilated Florida State. It was 30-0 at halftime. The final score was 58-14. It was bad. You wouldn't have known then that was going to be the same coach that was going to turn around and win the national title in 1993. So I said that to say, sometimes you need your ass whooped to understand what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And sometimes that humbling experience will get you to a place where you need to be. We beat Southern 65-18 in our house. 65. We was 35-3 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
bro,
something like that, right?
It happens. So,
yeah,
this was our time. This was our turn. Let's learn. Let's grow. Let's move on.
Let's hope we got our audio. Vaughn, how are we doing? Fingers crossed we got you. No, we don't. Still no audio. Not sure why we can't hear you, Vaughn. I know everything else looks good. You got a great picture. I don't know why
the picture looks good.
Why we're having. Yeah, the picture looks great.
Can we go to commercial?
We can try. Let's try to do that. Let's try to figure it out on the back end. Let's take a short break. Come back with Vaughn, and we're gonna hopefully we got our audio figured out. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Let's get back to strolling instead of scrolling. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your family.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Okay, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. There he is, Vaughn Wilson. Vaughn, say hello to everybody now that they can hear you.
Hey, what's up, O&G Strike Zone? Well, glad to be here, man. Glad for the invitation.
Let's go.
Glad to have you, man. We ain't gonna let them JSU Tigers. Nobody else keep us quiet.
Behind that conversation, that comment Kevin made not too long ago, boy, I tell you, y'all tried to throw me in right after that. I'm glad I might have turned my mic off.
Well, look, we go. You look, you doing a great work at HBCU Game Day. You guys don't hold any punches, so we just gonna throw you right in the fire. And the question that we had: why was the performance so bad? I mean, great article that you wrote, which we'll get into, or if you want to transition into that about the 4 reasons why JSU dominated. But that was the question we had on the table: why was the performance so bad?
It was absolutely a perfect storm for FAMU. I think, I've been on the field a lot, and being on that field, I just didn't see the hype of the players, of the FAMU players before the game that I normally see. So that was kind of weird. So what you normally see out of Jackson State, them bouncing off the walls. I just felt that the players just had too much on their minds. Coach Simmons said, he told me afterwards, going into the press room, the players did nothing we asked them to do. And when a coach has that response, that's just focus.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
So Vaughn, we can just throw it out. I said after that game, that's one of those games you don't look at the film, you don't talk about too much, man. You just get ready for the next opponent, because you absolutely learn nothing from that kind of whooping. There's no what else, and could have been or nothing else, man. It was a thorough whooping, so you have to kind of turn the page and get back to work, get back in the lab, so to speak.
Absolutely. I went out to practice today, and I can tell you and say this first on O&G Strike Zone, the players, Isaiah Land called a players-only meeting. They kicked all the coaches out, and it was before practice. And let me tell you, they had a different pep in their step when they went out to practice today. When you get the players that take the leadership of your team, then you have a good team. The coach can't lead all the time. The best teams are player-led teams. All we heard was a lot of yelling going on in there. And when they filed out, it was like a military unit coming out of there, and they had a great practice today. So rebounding, I don't think is going to be an issue. I think the team knows they're better than that. They have been through a lot. We can't discount that. And remember, these are 18 to 22-year-old kids. That sometimes we forget that when they put that helmet in jersey and they're 6'5", 315, but he may be an 18-year-old, some 17 or 19. How well are they mentally prepared for adversity? And I think that's one of the things that goes unnoticed. In my 4 things that reasons Jackson State beat FAMU, absolutely those analysts, because Jackson State's defensive backs seem to know every route that we were running. Deion Sanders in the post-game press conference said his analysts knew every blitz package we had. So it's like they had the cheat sheet for the game, which helps. Because if all things are equal and they got the cheat sheet, they're going to win. And I just really think that kind of changed HBCU football, because if you don't keep pace with that, FAMU lost 2 assistant coaches who are now analysts with other teams. Quinn Gray from Alcorn is now analyst with Memphis. That's a position that we as HBCUs don't have. But if you're trying to be a top-notch team, you got to get some.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
It's
yeah. Kofi, go ahead.
So we've had the laws. We ain't making no excuses. What do you feel like needs to happen going forward? It's all lost, Vaughn. It's all lost. Or can we move forward?
Absolutely not all lost. One thing I got today was that the university got a weather warning from the state weather center. The worst thing that could happen to FAMU is not to play the game Saturday. That means they're off next week. They will have to sit with that loss for 3 weeks without the opportunity to get back. That might allow some more devastation to creep into their minds. They need to hit the field Saturday against Albany State, and they need to get back to playing FAMU football to reassure themselves that they can do it. And from there, I think they'll be okay for the rest of the season.
Oh, wow. So the weather is looking bad this weekend. Is that what we're saying?
It's looking awful.
Yes.
Weather's looking awful for this weekend. Several things are being taken care of in advance of it, changes in plans. Yeah, the weather is not looking good, including what's more. We can deal with rain, but it's supposed to be thunderstorms, and that's where the problem comes. The NCAA does not allow you to play in lightning. No. So we're going to have to keep our fingers crossed that we actually can get the game in on Saturday.
Yeah, that's a good point, because that would be kind of miserable to kind of have to sit on that, or worse. I don't know. I know some schools had to deal with that this past week. I know Alcorn had to deal with like a 3-hour delay plus a in-game delay, and I don't think they got out of there until 2 a.m. Which I don't know how y'all feel. I don't know who's sticking around. I mean, obviously some of y'all have to report.
But if you watch the film of that game, by the time it ended, it was just the teams out there. I mean,
exactly.
Mississippi, who gonna stay? He gonna stay in that part of Mississippi that late? If you don't live there.
Nobody, family, and people who live on campus. That's about it. People who live on campus. Vaughn, one of the things that over the past 10 days, I gotta admit, your article that you wrote, your special to the Democrat, applaud. It moved me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, because I guess, like I said, that article, you've been, look, as much as we love this orange and green, man, you've been in it deeper than all 3 of us combined, because you put on the uniform. You've been there in the offices. You know the politics. You know all of it. And I felt, tell me what got, why did you write it at that point? Why did you feel the need, like, now is the time to express this? Because I know you probably had a lot of back and forth. Should I do this? Should I write it? Should I post it? Should I publish it? Tell us the mindset that went into you putting that out there. And if anybody did not read it, it's out. You can go to Tallahassee Democrat from last week and read's column. But it was tough, man, and it was real and it was honest.
I can tell you 2 words, the reason I wrote it: Roosevelt Wilson. My dad was never, ever scared to challenge whomever. He challenged FAMU as a writer, as a journalist, and he was an award-winning journalist. He won 2 of the Black Pulitzer Prizes in 1 year. But one thing he always told me: if you're always agreeing with people, maybe you're not researching enough. Maybe you don't have the guts enough. his thing always was do the research so nobody can dispute your point of view if you're going to come out with something of that nature. I had been researching it for a while, and I just think I spoke for a lot of Rattlers who were just tired. We're tired of this happening every 2 years, that we got to hide our head in the sand like an ostrich. Fix it. Quit patching it up, and the patch wears off and we spring a leak again every 2 years. Fix it. Fix it.
Amen.
Hire the people from the do what you ended up doing on the university side. Hire the academic people that you need. I hear we have one of the new compliance officers has already accepted the position, and they're moving fast. Why does it take a disaster before we fix this? We knew the last time when it got patched that tire was going to bust again. You have to maintain a full compliance and academic staff at HBCUs. You absolutely do. If they were at larger institutions, they spare no expense to make sure their athletes have the academic support that they need. Most great athletes, and we'll just say it, most of your greater athletes are going to need assistance academically. They've spent more time out practicing shooting hoops, throwing balls, catching balls, tackling. So they may need a little more assistance on the academic side for the most part. Yes, you have some great academic people who have been great players, but for the most part, your higher echelon of players need assistance because they're very focused on their task, their craft, their sport. So we can't, at an HBCU, turn our backs on these kids that need help. If we say we are, the flagship HBCU, show it. Show those student athletes. Don't just root for them on Saturday. Help them on Monday through Friday.
Well said.
Vaughn, you hit
well
the
said. Kel,
yeah. I mean, you hit the
go ahead, Kofi.
you hit
Go
the
ahead.
nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head, and just really one of the things that that bothers me the most about the leadership team is that everybody, it doesn't appear, our motto is excellence with caring, but the reality is you'll never get excellence if you don't care. It takes a heart to basically serve, and to whom much is given, much is required. So why not take the time to say, hey, how can we help you to get to the next level? Why isn't that an ongoing conversation? What's missing this week? How can we serve you? How can we help you? How can we pour into you? What do we need to do on our end to make sure? And the mere fact that, again, we had situation after situation. You had Courtney to go. Then you had the APR. You had several staff members to leave. Then you had the APR thing to come out, which we knew was coming. We knew it was coming. If I know it was coming, Lord knows, I know the university knows that it's coming. Okay. Well, they did nothing. Then you get all this uproar. Everybody's still mad over Courtney. Then you have the opportunity to address it at the National Alumni Association Convention. Well, we raised the money. We just want to just do this. It's the same thing. You didn't address it. It did not change. And the problem never left, So from that standpoint, you hit the nail on the head. Enough is enough. You're in position. All of us have a measure of influence, but the other people that are in power have the authority to fix it. And we need them to fix it.
By the way, I didn't even know the article was up. I wrote it. Kofi called me. He was the first one. He called me early in the morning. It was like, bruh. So I didn't even know the article was up. So when Kofi finished his spiel, I was like, oh, so they posted the article, huh? But let's just be honest. ONG Strike Zone, HBCU Game Day, and any other person that covers HBCUs, we're trying to uplift a lot of us attached to schools. I'm the FAMU correspondent for HBCU Game Day, but we lift up other schools when we're, in our spare time, because there is a sense of unity within HBCUs that we could never, move away from. We want to report good things, but when we have to, we must take charge and report the bad things so that things could get better. I got to say something that I didn't even mention in my latest article uh, about the game and analysts. Well, I mentioned it a little bit. The day before FAMU and Jackson State played, University of Miami played Bethune-Cookman, and I tried to stay on the Bethune-Cookman side. They know me very well, so I'm giving great access to Bethune-Cookman. They know what I do, and they know where I graduated and very well. But they know what I do now, and they trust me. I've built trust. So Coach Sims gave me access to the sideline. But I went on the other sideline, and right behind the bench, I saw what looked like a NASA space module. It was University of Miami's communication system, the headphone system. And so I had to go look it up, Coach Com. It's the X series. It is literally a trailer on wheels, a communication system branded with the University of Miami. Guess what I saw Sunday that had Jackson State branding on it? That same top of the line. I swear, I looked, I was like, did they rewrap that overnight? But it was in the exact same place. So when we keep saying, talking to it blue in the face that HBCUs have to step up, Jackson State stepped up. So everybody else better step up or everybody else is going to get stepped on. Because that administration, the athletic administration, they are all on one accord.
Yes.
And what Jackson State has is their athletics program elevating the profile of Jackson State University. People know about Jackson State University now that never knew they existed.
Yep.
What FAMU has is a little different because FAMU has the academic accomplishments that not many HBCUs have. So the athletics goes hand in hand with the overall brand imaging of the university. What we have to get our university administrators to understand, if they haven't understood it over this last month, in the things that have been excluded in athletics, in that brand, it has done a lot to tarnish that brand because athletics has not been taken care of. So it tarnishes the academic side because athletics is not being taken care of. So you can't ignore it because it's a part of your overall brand. So you might as well put the resources that you need so that they can continue to help the brand as they've done over the 140 plus year history of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, formerly the State Normal College for Colored Folks.
Well said. Well said. Hey, Kelvin, we're coming up on the break, so I'll let you close it out here with Vaughn. Any last thoughts or questions for Vaughn here?
Well, Vaughn, some of your co-workers both at FAMU and some of your work you did last year at Albany will be on after you when we come out of break. But you spent time around the team last year, Albany State that is, and you know the talent they have and the kind of program they have and what they're bringing to Bragg Saturday. Just kind of talk about the talent, man, and what we can expect from that Albany State football team.
Well, let's start at the top. I love Coach Gardenia. Everybody who knows me knows I love Coach Gardenia. We have a special relationship. He is a special man. I love the way he has led Albany State. I love his relationship with the players. He fights for those kids. He's just a guy that I'll just call him out of the blue. How you doing, Coach? Coach Gardenia has built a solid team. He really has. Last year, I was able to watch them. To see the progress of the quarterback, number 3, Deontay Banu, who was the preseason Offensive Player of the Year selected for the SWAC. To see his progression from the beginning of the season last year to the end of the season, he really locked in. And let me tell you, I don't want to say this in a negative point, but it seems like when their teammate had that unfortunate incident last year, Adonis Butler. It was a sad situation, very, very sad, that I couldn't believe, and it hurt my heart. But to see those kids respond, rally and respond, he got better. He locked in after the passing of his teammate, and I mean, he just really was a different quarterback after that. Coming off the edge, number 30, we got 31, they got number 30. The thing is, he's a Tallahassee guy. He went to high school in Tallahassee. Pierre, he went to high school in Tallahassee. He comes off that edge. Somebody better block him because he can wreak havoc. He was the defensive player of the year and overall player of the year for the SIAC last year. And then there's another guy that I really like on Albany State's team, number 24, Cam Ward. He's a running back. He reminds me of Ike Williams. You all remember Ike Williams? He so much reminds me of Ike Williams with the way he runs. And so Albany State is going to have to be taken seriously when they come in here because it starts at the head coach. He's a graduate of University of Alabama. He takes his job serious, and he has fashioned his system to where the guys have bought in, and that's what their success came from last year. So FAMU is going to have to play a very good game because they're looking at this like their Super Bowl. They're ready to come here and shock the world. I have heard the messages. I've heard all the talk from Albany State. They're bringing tons of people down here. So FAMU better be ready to